I've done it. I have found a dinosaur egg. Okay, it's not a dinosaur egg, it's an avocado.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But it's just as exciting. And today, what we're going to talk about is what makes us different from an avocado or this snail. It all starts with a guy named Aristotle. And what Aristotle found was that animals tended to have certain things in common. Now, today, we know that animals fall into a whole bunch of different groups. But back then, based on what he saw, Aristotle created two basic groups for everything. He said that everything was either a plant or an animal. Then broke them down even further and said that animals could either be air animals, land animals, or water animals. Or, if you're a plant, you could be a tall plant, medium plant, or small plant. We would count as land animals, since we spend most of our time on land. Something like a bird would count as an air animal, because it spends most of its time flying around. At least according to Aristotle. Then, something like this marine mollusk would count as a water creature. But, what would we count a penguin as? It looks like a bird, and acts like a bird, but it can't fly. These creatures. Aristotle had never seen a penguin, so in his defense, if all I ever knew were these things here on the table, I would assume that every living creature was either a green one, a spiky one, or me. Along comes this guy, Linnaeus. So Linnaeus came up with this idea. And Linnaeus said that if he could take all of the organisms and put them into groups from least specific to most specific, he would be able to organize everything together. Which means you take all of the creatures at once, break them into a few small groups, and then break them down even further. Think of it like a football team. You have the team itself, then you have the offense, defense, and special teams, and then it breaks down even further into your exact role. Are you an offensive lineman? Are you a defensive lineman? Are you a receiver? He did the same thing with organisms. And what we're going to check out is exactly how that grouping system works. So the way we group our organisms now is by taking a look at their kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. A kingdom is a wide group that includes a ton of different organisms. For example, the animal kingdom would include all animals. Then we get even more specific with the phylum. The phylum could include only animals with a spinal cord. Getting even more specific, we can look at just mammals, just carnivores, and break it down even further until you get to a single species all by itself. I would not even be in the same kingdom as this avocado, but I would be in the same kingdom as this snail. Why this is super important, besides the fact that it allows us to understand exactly how animals are related, is that we use this system to come up with the binomial nomenclature for creatures. Binomial nomenclature is just the way we name creatures using its scientific name. Binomial nomenclature, or calling things by their genus and species names, allows scientists to avoid confusion, especially when different creatures have different names based on who discovers them and where they can be found. The perfect example is the gnu. The gnu is also called a wildebeest. But if you never knew that the gnu was a wildebeest, then you might not know that I'm talking about a gnu when I describe a wildebeest. Alright guys, on that note, I am out of here. Do me a favor, stay safe, stay informed, and keep doing